confused. What are these riots in Los Angeles really about? Unless you've been living under a rock, you are no doubt aware there have been violent riots protesting deportations of illegal migrants into the United States, protests against ICE. Now, take a look at these images from the past few days. Why are the protesters waving flags of the non-existent fake nation of Palestine at protests against deportations of illegals from the U.S.? Now, one protester actually tried to explain the connection to us with this slogan: "Stop the ethnic cleansing in LA and Palestine." Makes sense, right? Before we go on, make sure to go into the description of this video below and download the free ebook that is available there. This is a collection of columns that I've published over the course of the last year and a half since the beginning of the October 7th war. It gives you a feel for everything we've been through in this war. So go ahead and download that ebook. To understand what's really going on here, let's go back to the very beginning of Israel's war. On November 29th, 2023, just a few weeks after October 7th, right after the war started, there was a riot in New York City at Rockefeller Plaza. Now, Rockefeller Plaza on November 29th, they had the annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony. Every year, there's this big Christmas tree that goes up at Rockefeller Plaza. People bring their kids, and they celebrate the beginning of the Christmas shopping season. And that year, November 29th, 2023, there was a pro-Hamas, anti-Israel riot that broke out there, and the protesters were chanting, "Christmas is canceled." They disrupted the whole event, and the police had to step in. But this wasn't an isolated event. In London, a few weeks later, Christmas shopping was disrupted on Oxford Street, Piccadilly Circus, that whole area there. And there was a pro-Hamas, anti-Israel demonstration, and the protesters were screaming similar slogans about canceling Christmas until Palestine is free. And then in late December, at the La Scala Opera House in Italy, there is a traditional Christmas performance that takes place. And right at the end of December, at the La Scala Opera House Christmas celebration in December 2023, pro-Hamas, anti-Israel demonstrators came into the opera house and disrupted the performance in the name of their support for Hamas. And then a few months later, at St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City, the Easter Sunday Mass was disrupted by pro-Hamas, anti-Israel demonstrators who came into the church demonstrating against Israel's actions in Gaza. Now, I'm going to state the obvious. Israel is a Jewish state. Israel has a 2% Christian minority, which is, interestingly, the same as the percentage of Jews in the United States. But Israel is a Jewish state, and Jews do not celebrate Christmas and Easter. Why on earth would pro-Hamas, anti-Israel demonstrators be protesting against Christianity, would be disrupting Christian festival observances and Christian Mass? Why would they be doing that in the name of their hatred of the Jewish state? The great Chinese military general and philosopher Sun Tzu wrote that if you know yourself, but not your enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. We need to know our enemy, and by attacking Christianity in the name of their hatred of Israel, the Jewish state, by bringing Palestinian flags to anti-deportation riots in Los Angeles, those who hate America and Israel are telling us exactly who they are. They're telling us loud and clear that their hatred of America, of Christianity, and of Israel are all the same hatred. They're telling us that the war in Israel is not about Israel. It's about their desire to destroy biblically based Western civilization. And the Bible is what this war in Israel is really about. Let me explain. When Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th, they have a name for that attack. They have a name for this war, and they call it the Al-Aqsa flood. Al-Aqsa is the Muslim name for the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, where the temples in biblical times stood. Now, the reason that they cannot accept a Jewish state in the land of Israel is because to do so, to accept a Jewish state in the land of Israel, would acknowledge that the Bible is true. So they must claim that there was never a temple in Jerusalem, that the Bible is false, and that the Jewish people have no right to the land of Israel. The only legitimate claim that the Jewish people have to the land of Israel is that we are the original inhabitants of the land. We lived here for millennia until we were exiled about 2,000 years ago. And all the archaeological evidence in the land of Israel supports this as a fact. And the unbroken chain of Jewish community records going all the way back to biblical times proves that we, the Jews, are the same nation that was exiled from this land 2,000 years ago. So if the Jewish people have actually returned to the land of Israel after centuries of exile, just as the Bible predicts in more prophecies than we have time to mention here, then the Bible is true. And Islam's claim that there was never a Jewish temple in Jerusalem is false. And for the progressive atheist leftists at these riots, the idea that the biblical account of history would be true is horrifying. What would they do if it turned out that the Bible was true? There's a lot of other things they would have to accept as well. So the rioters in LA hold Palestinian flags because they see the destruction of Israel and the destruction of America and Christianity as all part of the same project. The defeat of the Bible and everything biblically based Western civilization stands for. I know, there's lots of people, both on the right and on the left, who have all kinds of problems with Israel, and there's all sorts of criticisms of Israel and the Jewish people. Some of these criticisms are legitimate, others are less so. But let's not miss the big picture here. Jihadist Islam and the progressive left have teamed up to destroy our world. Israel's fighting them, and we intend to win. As for America and the West, are you willing to fight?